welcome back. We are back with Julius Delahaye, who is the CEO of SGA Security. Tips about security. What measures should you put in place even as we head over into the festive season? And we were just talking about CCTV and
install the systems, the alarm systems, CCTV cameras, electric fence, alarms, remote controls, silent alarms.
Remote control alarms.
And yeah, so panic buttons. And they are, you can have fixed, but you can also have remote ones. So that you can carry with you when you push and then the alarm goes off. So we provide that service. We do the maintenance of the technical service, because we find quite a lot of people they buy quite cheap devices and then it doesn't work. And then when you need it, of course, you have been cheap, but it became not only very expensive, but also very dangerous.
So it's possible to have this system installed even as you go as far as, for example, when you are in Nairobi County and then you go to Mombasa County or Kisumu County, whichever county it is, you can monitor your home.
Absolutely. We have more than 32 offices in the region, so in East Africa.
In East Africa?
In East Africa. So all the big major cities, we have offices, and so we have response teams. So if you have an alarm installed, we will, our backup teams will come to your home and give you with the support. And even in most of the cases, we have armed police on board. So particularly at night, if you come to an event and the thugs are armed, and you have no arms yourself, then it becomes very tricky even. So
now, we have instances even in this country. It's all over the world of armed robbery in our homes.
Yes.
How can someone curb these incidences, especially during seasons like this, where activities are expected?
Yeah. No, and here I must make a distinction if you can afford an alarm system or if you can't, because of course there's a big difference. But if you can afford an alarm system, what you basically are doing is delaying, the thugs to come close to you and your family.
If you can afford.
If you can afford, because you can do an electric fence. You are actually delaying, because if the alarm goes off at the outer end, you have time to bring your family in protection, organize a safe place, a safe room, or an escape. But at least you are delaying, so the response team and the police can come in the meantime. So that is where you have you can afford alarm. But if you can't, then always be alert and try to delay thugs from wherever they are, wherever they start, to come to your place. And for sure, if it happens to you, stay calm, because if you are on your own or with your family against armed thugs, you can't do anything.
But that fear always comes through. Some people start screaming and running.
Yeah, absolutely, and that is very dangerous, actually. And statistics show that particularly when you start screaming, sometimes the thugs are more scared than you are. And if you start screaming...
Okay, that's interesting. The thugs are more scared than you.
Yes, because at the end they know if the police would come and they will be caught, it doesn't end nicely for them. It doesn't end well. So they are scared. So if you make the noise, then you increase their chances to get caught. So you create a situation of panic. And in panic, you don't know what people do. So our advice is stay calm, give the thugs whatever they want, because at the end you can be a hero, but better be at that point in time maybe a coward than the rest of your life dead, because the thugs, they won't hesitate. So give what they want, stay calm, and ignore the eye-to-eye contact, ignore, confrontation, because that is what they don't like. No, they are not after you at the end.
They're after what you have.
Exactly, they're after.
You've said quite a very important point there, that it's better for you to be a coward at that point in time and we would say once in your life, than spend the rest of your life dead.
That's exactly.
Now, in instances that we have seen, these things are all over, of carjacking. Someone maybe is in the parking lot, a car comes from behind, or thugs come from the left side of the door, the right side of the door. What should someone do?
Yeah. First of all, again, be alert. Be alert on the situation. If you had the car parks, for instance, at shopping malls, most of the time they are protected. But if they are not, and you are on your own, look at the environment. Is there something uncommon, unusual? Quite a lot of times you have a gut feeling if you are alert to it. But of course, if it does happen, at the end, don't hesitate. Give them the car keys. If they're armed, give them the car keys. Step out of the car, hand over the car keys, and step aside.
But you know, there are criminals who just shoot you even if you give them what they want.
Yeah, and that's where I think if you can make the assessment, and of course each situation is different, but don't hesitate. You know, show them, you know, that you're not, you know, trying to defend. You're not attacking. You're not panicking. Give them what they want, and that is the only advice. In cases where people survived very tough situations, is where they stayed calm. And I know it's easy to say, and if it happens at that point in time, it might not be so easy. But if you think of it in advance, you can train yourself. You can say, okay, if this happens to me, then this is how I'm going to act.
Okay. Now, this we would like to just take a short break, but we'll come back because I will also want to know these security measures, CCTV. People who are staying in the western sides of Nairobi are different from people staying from the eastlands. Lavington and Kayole, different. Not everyone can afford CCTV.
Absolutely.
We will be back in a short while. Good morning, Kenya takes a short break. Do not go too far. It is all about security during this festive season. I'm joined by the CEO of SGA Security, Jules De La Haye. Do not go too far. Welcome back. We are back with Julius De La Haye, who is the CEO of SGA Security. Tips about security. What measures should you put in place even as we head over into the festive season? And we were just talking about CCTV, and I would like to find out from you, not everyone can afford this. Not everyone can be able to live that life, because some people look at having CCTV as a luxury. What would you say?
Yeah, I think you're right. It is a given. It depends absolutely, you know, well, where you're living and what the environment is. But for those who can't afford the CCTV, there's still a lot of tips that you can look at. You know, are you aware of your neighborhood? Most of the time, if you have good contact with your neighbors, you know, during the day, did something extraordinary happen? Are there people around that don't belong in your neighborhood? You feel, hey, it's strange behavior, looking after something, people you don't know. It helps a lot. If you have good contact, we call neighbor watches is actually quite a common phenomenon to be used. You know, that if you are going on holiday, tell your neighbors, I'm out. Could you keep an eye on what's happening here?
But now, when it comes to having CCTV, does it depend on electricity? Someone who has traveled to the rural areas at a place where, for example, there is no electricity, or at a time whereby electricity has power is out.
Yeah, well, it's absolutely an important thing. You need power. because connectivity is very important for security, for your CCTV, because on one hand you can record, but if you have no live contact there, so it needs to work, so you need power, and in case of power you need backup power. That's always, we know we can't rely on the grid. From time to time we have huge outages, so for sure make sure you have the backup power. And in rural areas, use, for instance, solar.
Do you offer such services?
Yeah, solar and energy we can offer, but it's not part of our standard. We apply end-to-end services. We can use any of the systems, but the power in itself, we need to look at specific situation. And if it's very specialized, we would contact or contract with a partner who has the knowledge and technology to do so. And that really depends on the location, because between rural and rural there's quite a big difference. There's some places...
There's some places that are better off.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're really in the middle of nowhere, you need to find a very dedicated solution. Most of the time solar power or even batteries, because it's the mix of the two you need. So that is absolutely important. Coming back to devices and CCTV, I think it's very clear security without connectivity is actually useless.
Security without connectivity is useless.
Useless. You need to be connected. One way you need to be able to communicate. And in the past it was verbally, but now we use internet, we use radio, because indeed if something happens, you need to be able to warn people, to alert, or to know what's going on, or to ask for support and help.
Okay. You've mentioned quite an interesting point, the internet.
Yes.
Our kids are back home, and for a very long holiday. How can we ensure security of our children, especially when it comes to curbing online bullying, or, if I would put it better, cyber security? Yeah.
No, and that is absolutely a topic to monitor, and most of the time even our kids are better with the internet than we as adults are. And that is a challenge, but always monitor. Look what your children are doing, and warn them, because indeed internet is quite tricky. You can enter into the wrong websites where before you know your data has been stolen, all your information, your bank account.
It's out there.
It's out there. It's all out there.
Wow.
And people also underestimate, for instance, the impact of social media. Like, look, I'm in holiday. Ram is in Dubai. And then suddenly
you go to Facebook and say, in Dubai with Ram Aguko.
Exactly. Exactly. And then I think, oh, let's pay a visit to Ram, because
and take our things.
Take out things. He's not at home, so he allows us to take whatever he has. So it is actually a clear advertisement for thugs to come and visit you. And that is the internet part of it. But people also forget, during festive seasons, you go shopping, you have bought yourself a nice TV screen, flat screen, and we put the box outside of the door to be collected a few days later.
Advertise.
And then you're asking, please come and come and visit me.
And in Kenya we normally say this, mwenyewe amekuja kuchukua kitu chake, meaning the owner has come to take his item.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we say, the occasion makes the thief, It is just like that. And if you make it too easy, then you're the first, to be the victim.
So we should avoid even putting our boxes of electronics or anything that we buy outside there in the public.
Exactly, exactly. Immediately, once you board it, put it in a bag or cover it, or bring it to another place, to a dump or whatever, but place it somewhere where it's not visible that you have purchased.
And you've mentioned quite an interesting point there, because it's all about gifts.
Yeah.
And most people have this tendency of believing Christmas is a time of giving, buying gifts.
Absolutely.
When it comes to online shopping, how can I ensure that I do not have an insecure kind of experience when I go online to buy whatever I want to buy?
Yeah, no, and that is absolutely a good question, huh? Because first of all, if it's the first time that you do this, consult with friends. Do you know the website? Do you know the shop? If you don't know it, for sure, don't buy a very expensive item.
Or start small.
Start small, because if you have no experience with online shopping, you're an easy target, you know. So that is the first thing. Secondly, is do a small search. If you don't know, you can look at Google, take the name of the company and look at, combine it with Google Scam, for instance, and look at it. If there is some issues with that company, it will pop up, because most of the time you're not the only one and the first one. So that is something to look at. Online payment, be very careful with online payment. Don't give, just your credit card details or payment details, your bank details, just like that. A professional company won't ask directly. There is specific means. You can use M-Pesa, or you can have other means of payment.
So there's some questions that if we are asked online, we should think twice.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there is, of course, quite well-known companies that you can look at, but also sometimes be careful. Some of the websites are not encrypted, as they call. You may see that on the websites there is what they call HTTP, but put an S to it, because if there is no S, be careful. Because
if there's no S
to that website stipulation, then there might be an issue. And
so we should take note of the URL. It should be HTTPS.
Exactly. Then they are encrypted, and at least then you know it is one of the official websites. And some of them, they are not. It's the same with some apps. Are you really sure the app is scrutinized and has been vetted properly? So test it, and if it comes to shopping, start small. Don't do immediately. You can lose a lot of money by making a transfer, and the goods will never be delivered.
What about emails? Because you have instances that you receive email and then transactions through email addresses.
Exactly, which is also a very tricky part. People get invited to share your details. You have won a lottery, but you have to collect it. So give me your bank account and give all that. Don't enter into that. Very important. Be alert. Even if people they say, "Oh, we have a refund. There was a mistake," and you have never heard of it. If you use common sense, most of the time, people don't give you something without asking something in return. So be very alert. And for sure, never ever share personal data or financial data, bank details on the internet.
But there's some websites that normally ask these questions, that before you get to do anything there, they will ask, please sign in for you to acquire our services.
Yeah, and that's where, before you do that, check on the internet. Check the name, check the website, because sometimes they're very smart. The website looks quite the same, and but it's not.
It's not.
I don't want to use other brand names, but there is a famous abuse of a name like Coca-Cola, but somebody uses Cola-Cola, and it looks.
It's like something that will trick you into believing.
It's the right thing. So check it, check the names, check the website. Quite often, thugs, if they use criminals, they use a strange website name. It's not the real name. It looks similar, but it's not the same. So be very alert on that.
Now, when it comes to moving in public places, shopping complexes, shopping centers, and you see commotion, let's say you're traveling at the airport, anywhere, as long as it's a public place. What are the measures that can be done in such scenarios, even as you continue to do your things?
No, and that is absolutely a scenario where I would look at, you know, first of all, be aware what the location is that you are. Are you in a railway station? Are you indeed in a shopping mall? It's quite often, those are crowded places, many people. So try at least to create some private space for yourself. Meaning, don't get into the physical touch of people. Because if they do, if somebody touches you, please check, you know, check yourself, because your ID cards, your wallets, because one thug may touch you here, but somebody else is robbing you. Pickpocketing is very common. In big places like airport, look at the purpose. People are traveling there, so people usually behave like travelers, like wearing suitcases, going from A to B. But if there's people there without suitcases and looking actually to something else, everywhere, but not at going from A to B, then that is a strange behavior. So identify strange behavior from normal behavior. So if people get together because somebody is screaming, or stay away from it, because that's where people, pickpocketers, you know, will be active.
So what do you do once you identify such kind of behavior?
Yeah, so first identify it and look at your own environment and create your space and protect, keep an eye on your belongings.
Okay, you know? And do you need to report or do anything?
For sure, I would, if and it depends of course how serious it is, but most of the time, if you have a gut feeling, well, a suitcase standing on its own is always a tricky element. Report immediately, because you never know. It can be indeed something serious as explosive, but it can also be distraction for you to think, hey, that is somebody left the suitcase, what should I do? And you focus on that and you forget your own belongings. So it's quite a lot, in a lot of cases, it is distraction. That's what thugs, thieves are looking for. So be alert for the unusual and create some private space where possible. And if for some reasons it is not possible, be very careful.
Be very careful
of what you are.
Now, there's issues to do with online bullying, because we need our children to be secure and safe. Do you have measures that you can put in place for online bullying?
Yeah, you could. There is for sure on the internet software for children where you can protect them not to go to certain websites. Even you can block certain websites for them to attend. But to be honest, whatever you do on that area, it will never be enough. I think the most important thing is to keep an eye on your children yourself, to know what you're doing, particularly if they're very young. I would not leave them alone on the internet, just like that. Because before knowing, the tricks are very sophisticated, and before knowing it, they're into your system, invite the children for all kinds of stuff that you would for sure not want to be dealt with as a parent. So keep an eye on them is the best. It's not only the physical part, because that is something in the festive season as well. If you're traveling with children, always monitor them. Keep them close to yourself, because it creates a lot of distraction if you have lost them or they are away. You go after your children and you forget all your other belongings. So children always need to be monitored, I'm afraid.
Now, when it comes to women, I would like to put this specifically into perspective. How should a woman carry their handbag so that they carry it in a way that is secure for them?
Yeah, I think it's very important. First of all, don't have the handbag open. You know, no wallets open laying in the handbag, because an open handbag is always a target for a thief.
That's a free invite.
That is absolutely. That is no. So that is very important. But one of the also easy. You know, if you walk on the street, you know, don't carry your handbag on the street side, because somebody can come with a motorbike and just grab it, take it from you.
On the street side.
The street side.
So the handbag should be on the opposite side.
Opposite side of the street, because at least if there is a motorbike coming, I can't grab it from your shoulder. And they will do it with a lot of violence.
Interesting.
So that is a part to look at. Have it always on site. Don't carry it on your back, because if it's on your back, you don't know what's happening. So never lose sight. Have wallets, you know, always at the front.
And these are important tips that I would like everyone to really pay close attention to, even as you talk about security in the festive season. How do you carry your bags as you move, even in airports where there are so many people at the same time?
Yes.
Now, what if I've carried my bag on the other side that is opposite from the street? Is it still safe? Is there something more that I should do?
Yeah, well, if it's a big bag, it becomes, of course, more tricky. But the suggestion is stay as much as you can away from the street side, and closer to the inner side. Have the bags always in your side. If there is a kind of cart where you can put the bags on in front of you.
That is for the big luggages.
For the big luggages, you can put them in front of you. But other bags is sometimes we carry so much that we can't keep an eye anymore. And we have open bags, open shopping bags. Then it becomes tricky, because if you carry them everywhere, then somebody from behind can easily steal.
And the handbags, so after they are on my other side?
Take them indeed between your arm and
under your arm.
Under your arm. Protect, you know, the personal belongings, the wallet, and your ID cards and your keys. You know, don't put them all together at the same place. It's another point. And for ladies, it's sometimes difficult, of course, with the bags, because if they steal everything at the same time, you know, you have your ID card, maybe your address where you're living, your keys together, then you have lost them. The keys will go, the tags will go to your home, and before you are at home, you know, you have not only lost those, but maybe more belongings than you
from
are
your
thinking
house.
of. Yeah, exactly.
So you should ensure that you carry your handbag under your arm.
Close, yeah.
Like this, close
And
to
for
your arm.
ladies, I would definitely say during festive season, you know, monitor the time. When it's dark, for sure, don't travel alone. Actually, that's also counting for men.
Interesting point there.
Shopping, if you go shopping, be careful when you know, put the your shopping into the car. Don't make it too visible that your car is full of all kinds of presents, etc., because that is attracting. If you go home by car, make sure, pay attention, because most of the robberies take place before your house, before you enter your house. So
even nowadays, they're even during the daytime. They happen when the sun is up in the sky.
Absolutely.
And you wonder then, these thieves must have guts to come in the daytime.
Absolutely. And if it's most of the time when it's robbery like that, or armed robbery, they have been watching your house or your behavior beforehand.
For a period of
time. A period of time. And that's where also it's very important to be alert. If you see people in your neighbor that you've never seen before, strange behavior, you don't know why they are there, what they are doing, pay attention, be alert.
Okay. Before we go there, because I have a question there, back to putting the shopping into your car. Is there a specific way that they should be? Should they be just all in the boot, or should we avoid the back seat?
Preferably, put it all in the boot so that's not visible. If you put it on the back seat, put a blanket on it or something. Cover it. Cover your shoppings or your belongings. Also, if you're traveling, if you can't put everything in your boot, put as much as you can, you know, under a cover, a blanket or something, that at least you don't see what it is, you know, and try not to use above window sight, you know. Okay. So those are all signs, hey, you're traveling, you're carrying interesting goods, more than usual, so that's interesting for
Does
me.
it also apply for tinted windows? Because some people have cars that have tints.
Yeah, exactly, and of course it depends on how tint it is, how dark it is. But from the outside, of course, if you're 1 or 2 meters from the car, most of the time you would not see.
You would not see
but
it.
people, if your car is on the parking lot, they will just
Someone can just pick in.
Exactly, and that's what they do. And that's where, on one hand, we feel safe because we have tinted glass, but on the other hand, we are not. Another point, a tip, is car keys. Most of the time now, with the most modern cars, we have electronic car keys to protect. But it's also dangerous because the thugs have devices, electronic devices, to pick up the signal. So they can follow you, and if you are at home, don't leave your car keys close to the outside street, because they can pick up the signal and actually steal your car electronically.
Maybe close to the windows.
Yeah, absolutely. So you leave your device in
you talk about the keyless.
The keyless, yeah, exactly. The keyless cars.
The wireless one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
Those cars, on one hand, it's interesting, the devices, you would say, it's more sophisticated, not easy to copy, but nowadays there is devices that pick up the signal, and because the signal is constantly communicating with your car.
Wow.
And basically, if you have that device, it's easy to steal. Actually, I don't need the car keys anymore. I just use the device and steal the car anyway.
Now, now back to the point of burglary when it comes to your home premises.
Yes.
You mentioned earlier that once someone steals from your home, it means that they have observed you for quite some time.
Yes.
So for us to prevent these kinds of scenarios, should we be changing our route? Should we be changing our pattern? What should we do?
Yeah, I think it's you're giving the answer, actually, which is absolutely true, is in that case, particularly if you have a very fixed pattern, then I would definitely change it. If you always take the same route to your home, be careful, because you attract attention. So use a different route.
Because someone who is observing you must have observed a specific pattern.
They know exactly when you come at home. If you come late, they may observe you not only at home but also at your work.
Even at your work.
Even at your work. So that is where, for instance, if you do the shopping, they may follow you actually to your home, but they know already your home place. So if you have a fixed pattern of going to work, do your shopping, do your sports, go to the gym, look at it and change it from time to time. Break that pattern from time to time in a completely different and unexpected way.
Some people like
sure help.
Some people like traveling at night.
Yeah.
They feel it to be more comfortable because at night maybe they will be sleeping.
Less traffic. Yeah, less traffic, but for sure more thieves. And I would, if you really don't need to travel at night, I would not recommend to go at night, because the chances, the statistics show, there's more happening. For sure, hijacking is happening quite often at night. For sure, I would not recommend, if you have to travel, don't go on your own. Go at least with somebody else. Don't stop at night. Don't park. And
even if it's for buying food, for example, maybe you want to take a snack.
Yeah, but then make sure that you scan the environment very well at a gas station or somewhere, preferably a shopping mall. Is more protected. You can go in there, then at least you know the environment. But if you don't know it, then it's very tricky. And one thing is also very important during festive season: plan your route well in advance. Because if you plan it well in advance, then the chances to get lost is minimal.
Then what do I do?
Because exactly, if you get lost, then that's what thugs are looking at. They see it. They know. Hey, they will help you.
This guy is lost. And
this guy is lost. Let me help you out. Sir, can I jump in your car and I will show you the way? Don't do that, you know. Or please follow me, and I'll show you the way. And before you know, you are somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and you were invited to the wrong friends.
And you know, most people, when they get lost, they want to and they want to find the way. What do you do so that you also don't look like you're lost? And it's quite evident.
And that is not the most easy way, but at least try to behave that you're not lost. You know, try a pattern, and if you don't know your way, don't stop at the place where the car is on their own, or if you don't feel comfortable, look for a public place where there's many people.
Then who do you ask?
Huh?
Who
Yeah,
do you ask
I would typically, if it's in the countryside, look at gas stations that are more populated, or a restaurant, or if there is a mall or something like that, or go into a town. But as I said, at the end, the best way is don't travel during the night. I think
just don't travel.
Don't travel. Or if you can afford, use our VIP escort services, which we do particularly if you need to travel for your work.
Interesting.
Or if you can afford, then we can escort you from going from A to B.
Which SGA offers?
offers, yeah. We have escort services, even if required, with armed police on board, because that can help you, you know, to go from A to B. In emergency, for instance, could if you need to go to hospital in the middle of the night because your child is ill or something, then I would definitely recommend to look at it, but be prepared in advance, because if you really need it, then most of the time it's too late. You know, you have to think in advance.
Okay, now about the services you're offering, what about someone who wants to maybe send money or a parcel or an item?
Yeah.
Do you have those services also? Yeah,
we have actually. Well, we have the cash and transit services, but that's for valuable. That's for the banks, really money transport. In Uganda and Tanzania, we offer courier services. In Kenya, we do for specific clients valuable parcels and valuable documents. People can.
You say for specific clients?
Yeah, it's most of the time. For now, it's the multinationals, NGOs. They have specific documents, specific requirements for valuable goods, valuable stuff to be transferred from A to B.
All right.
And that's where we use them. And yeah, we can do that for private clients as well. But to be honest, it needs to be to a certain value, or the need for security should be clear. But we are offering that services in the coming year in a broader scale, like courier services in a secure and safe way.
Oh, nice.
So, which we do, as I mentioned already, in Uganda and Tanzania.
You are a man who has traveled the world. You've moved from one place and one region to so many places.
Yes.
And with this vast experience and with the vast knowledge of and interaction with people, what are the cases that you've seen that are quite interesting or shocking when it comes to matter security, the careless scenarios, the things that have made you to just say, oh my?
Yeah, sometimes you get into very interesting environments. Most of the time, I think actually is that people don't take security always very serious, only when it comes close to you.
Only when it comes close.
But close.
And that's quite sad.
And that's quite sad, absolutely, because in your opening statement you said, are you really, explaining to your wife that you wanted to save money on security while you could, and then suddenly something happens, and you didn't do everything you could have done? No, you don't want to in that situation.
Wow.
But yet, we see quite some clients not always taking it serious. They don't pay the bill, they save on maintenance. A bit penny-wise, pound-foolish, I would say. And cheap can be very expensive, but when it comes to security, not only expensive, very dangerous. And that's where I would always say to people, you know, pay your bills in time, because if a response team has to choose, there's two people at the same time. Of course, we have to serve our clients, but a client that doesn't pay the bills in time, then, yeah.
There are people who don't pay.
There's always people that don't pay, unfortunately. You know, economy is bad, but when it comes to security... So you understand? I do understand, but I don't appreciate, and for sure I don't accept, because that is the name of the game. If I have a contract with you, I deliver my service, and then at the end of the service, if I provide good quality service, then I expect you to deliver your part of the contract, which is payment. And because if we are not paid, I can't, you know, deliver, and I can't pay the salaries of the people, and then it becomes tricky. So yes, payment is a very important element, and maintenance of, you know, of your service, it's very very important.
Now, there's this quite interesting thing that I'd like to find out from SGA, the personnel that you have. What kind of qualifications do you look into? What kind of personnel do you have? The kind of strength that they can really offer. Where do you get them? And I would like to also find out the kind of expertise that you have in SGA. Yeah,
you know, it's a variety. We actually we vet the personnel. They come from, depending, you know, they come from the all of the country. Actually, we train them at our own training school, because we feel they need to meet our standards, which are higher than usual and average.
You have very high standards.
We have very high standards, and we have a mix, because it depends really on the type of the job what you need. The security of a bank is different than the security of a kindergarten. Yeah? And I use that example quite often. I ask people, what do you feel is more important? And yet a lot of people tell me, yeah, of course, the security of the bank, because that's where all the money is. Yeah. But I say, sorry, my friend, what about your children? I think my children are more important than the money in the bank. So the security of the kindergarten is a more important item than the security of the bank. Because that's our children, it's our blood,
that's
our families. Future. That's our future. So, and it requires a different approach. You know, I can't put a guard in front of the kindergarten scaring off the children. They're there to protect.
Are they friendly?
And they should be. And they should be. And if they are not, you know, they have an issue with me. No, they should be friendly. But that's the point. Yeah? We make a mistake. As I said, security is not, you know, muscles without brains. It's using the brains. And the fact that I'm smiling to you doesn't mean I'm not alert and I'm not looking around what's going on. You know, security is being alert, taking into account what may happen, what can happen. So
now, I would like to find this now. We are about to wrap up. At home, there are some people, once they leave the house and there is no one to stay in, they leave the lights on.
Yeah.
Do you advocate for that?
Yeah, well, I would preferably, I would say, if you have a timer, that would be better. And a timer, preferably, that switches different days, so different times. Okay. Because also here, thugs would look at a pattern. So if the lights are always on, that's also a pattern. It means you're not at home. Some people say, oh, I put the television on, and so there is sound. But yeah,
all through the night.
All through the night. And then you say, hey, but who has his television on all day? You know. So look also at that. So try to imitate a situation that is natural, and preferably, if you don't have a timer, ask a friend or a neighbor, you know, to switch off the lights, you know, during the day, and put them on during the night, or, you know, create at least a situation where it looks like, you know,
there is life inside.
There's life inside the house, and it's not, you know, a programmed life. So
and I appreciate you coming. As you wrap things up, I would like you maybe to give final comments. Speak to Kenyans there. Tell them what you would like them to do.
Yeah.
It is a festive season,
Yeah.
and we would like to see each other come 2019.
Yeah.
Talk to Kenyans.
First of all, I would like, of course, to wish you all Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Start your festive season. You know, take a good rest before you're going to travel. Don't rush yourself into it. Drive safely. Take care of your family, and most important, stay alert and prevent any situations that you don't want to find yourself into. So, wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you coming.
Thank you.
It is an honor.
Thank you.
And at least we have
Welcome.
learned something from you and from SGA. Remember, you can be able to find them on their website, sgasecurity.com.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. And I think that's where more tips are. You know, a lot of the tips that I've been given are on our website, and even more. So,
Wonderful.
and of course, if there are more questions, there's also contact details out there.
All right.
So
That is the one and only Jules de la Haye, if I
Thank you.
say. Julius, the CEO of SGA Security, coming in studio to give us more concerning security when it comes to the Christmas season. Engage with us. I'm seeing our online platform is cooking. People are commenting and people are talking about the security. Keep the conversation going. Be part of this using our Twitter handle at KBC Television, at Ram Aguko, using the hashtag Good Morning Kenya. He says it is better to be safe than sorry. Be alert. Try to prevent. Thank you very much. We will see each other tomorrow for another segment of Good Morning Kenya, early in the morning at 6 a.m. with Regina Manyara, Jane Wambui, and myself, Ram Aguko. God bless you. Stay safe. Have a blessed day. Ta-ta.